Good look at how fun, y'all. Let's count you down for game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yay, suddenly she's in a lot of trouble. Isn't able to get anything else done. Getting pieces to the left, but is that going to be enough? No. Neco will top out. And that Tetris will do it. We're not super high. Oh my goodness, but it hangs the Z. Oh my goodness. Going to need quite a bit of elbow grease to get out of this. He can't. He's going to hang the J, and that's it.
ETL Season 30. Best of luck to Iball and to Neco. Let's count this thing down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And same pieces confirmed. TZT start. That's what the players will have. Bit of deviation already from the get-go, but double tuck miss there for Iball. Will get the Tetris, but will be Neco has the cleaner board out of the opening. But a bit about the players now. On the left has an NTSC PB of 4,750,740 roller out of Canada. Finished in 4th place at the C2WC just gone. Stole the show, sort of, when it came to not only the crowd interaction, but just sort of the energy that he brought to that tournament. Of course, it is Iball. And our player on the right, PB of 6,249,920 roller out of Russia. Didn't compete at C2WC this year, but has been making splashes in CTL, notably, of course, if you put your mind back to a couple seasons ago, season 28, finalist in CTL. Only lost to Scooty in the playoff finals, but hoping to try to get back there. And an active revenge, it is Neco. Second match these two players have now under their belt. They played each other once before in season 27. Iball was the victor, 3-1. And this is Iball's first CTL division since then. Took a bit of a break to more than likely just focus on other competitions. I know had some good runs in Classic Tetris Monthly as well, but is back and looking to have another good run here in the Classic Tetris League. So far, has 2 wins on the bounce. $264 for Iball, $288 for Neco. We're about 50 lines in so far. Neco last season finished 2nd place in Division 1A. Good enough to get a 3rd seed in the playoffs, but unfortunately went out in the first round to eventual runner-up Alex. Neco has made playoffs on the last 2 occasions. Season 20 and 29, looking to make it 3 in a row here. What's up, Anjing? Good to see you. How does Div 1 work again? So in Div 1, the top 4, or overall in Div 1, the 8 highest scoring players, in terms of their points, go into the playoffs. So the top 3 are pretty much guaranteed. In this specific season, there's only 6 people in each division, so the top 4, no matter what, go in. So the 8 best players go into a playoff system. I believe the top 2 get a bye into the 2nd round of the playoffs. And then the playoffs keep going until we have an overall championship winner. Last place is automatically relegated from the division. Not unlike Division 2 to 4, where they would go into a playoff. 472 for Iball, 445 for Neco. Both players are clean. Both taking delayed burns to get the well back open. Tetris, Iball, Tetris for Neco. Wallband in the chat saying Iball in 5. Iball relatively happy with that. He backs himself. Curie going a step further, saying Iball in 3 or maybe 4. So we got an Iball crowd here. Not an in-person crowd, unfortunately, as much as we would have liked that, but maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll have CTL live. 508 for Iball, 538 for Neco. We're about to hit level 19 transition. Speed will increase by about 50%, and the amount of points you get for Tetris will also increase and keep on increasing through the levels. No loud booms. I'm gonna have to get a soundboard or something and just put in the booms. 568 for Neco going into level 19. Iball can get one more Tetris before then. Oh, but a misdrop of that T-piece. Not gonna be fatal. Can still get some Tetrises here to bring the board down, but actually instead it looks like Iball is going to have to just burn out the old-fashioned way and then go for the Tetrises. Does do that. But bars keep coming a little bit too late. And that does allow Neco to have a little bit of a lead now. 73,000 points ahead. 646 to Iball's 573. Next year will be much lighter. I hope so. We need someone with like one of those like those loud drums that they take to like sports events. We need like one of those like massive sort of like parade drums. I don't know the exact name for them, but just like we need like a whole parade. Not only for Iball, but for all our players. We need like specific like stations. We need like everyone, even bronze bracket players. We need them to have like fan clubs. Because the energy was just unmatched this year. Dirty, Tetris for Iball, 717. Neco, 811. Both players clean. Bit of a drought, but Neco sees the other side of it and will get a Tetris. Iball now. Also going to get a Tetris here. 777 to 846. Players now on level 24. You're going to bring 40 mega... You're going to have... No. Winter, you're going to have, like, the megaphones position like Bart Simpson in that, like, one Simpsons episode. You're just going to have a line of 40 megaphones, and you're going to probably break all the CRTs. Iball going for the delayed burn, gets it with that Z piece. 869 for Iball, 943 for Neco. Tetris for Neco, now up to 975. One Tetris away from a max out. Tetris for Iball. Tetris for Neco, max out, line 208. Now on to level 27. Iball puts the long bar in the middle, gets another Tetris by opening back up the well here, and another Tetris for Iball. It's pretty much neck and neck now. A09 for Iball, A19 for Neco. Tetris for Neco, now up to A53, and another Tetris for Neco up to A87. Neco now into level 28. Level 29 comes at line 230. And that's when the real game begins for both these players. Used to be called the kill screen, of course. No more if you're a roller. Unless, of course, you're a roller who can't play 29, which neither of these players are. They both have in excess of 4 million and 6 million points, respectively, so they can play at this speed and are showing what they can do. B02 for Iball, B79 for Neco. Neco building back up again. Delayed burns, or takes some skims, actually. Gets another Tetris, now up to C19. Oh, and some lights turned off there for Iball. It's almost like the lights just toning down here for the tension here. Level 31, B61 to C64. Neco in a bit of a dig situation could allow Iball to sort of claw back and bring down that lead. Neco's board getting really high, gets that long bar into column 3, slowly bring the board back down to a much more survivable spot, gets that L piece over. Brilliant mechanics here for Neco, but a couple bad misdrops, bringing the board down as much as he can. B82 for Iball, top out for Neco at C85. Iball's capture seems to have frozen. We'll wait to see what happened here. Iball's board looking fine, but not sure. Okay, Iball got it. D13. Capture did freeze, but the score is what matters. GG's for Iball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Marquise Francois versus Francais versus Martz Quebec will be legendary. You forgot about Martz's middle name, Kaka. Martz Kaka Quebec. Who won, Maisie? So we kick things off again for game number 2. Neco opting to pull back that square piece rather than just wait for the bar to fill in the dependency. He does eventually fill it in. You won? Okay, that's... I was gonna say, well, that's expected. It's Martz, but then I realized that I've played Martz 4 times and I still haven't won yet. Neco on 101, Iball 39k. A bit of a suffer start here for Iball. Hasn't been the kindest of seeds in its opening. Iball gets the well back open and finally getting another Tetris there. Seeing the other side of that rough sequence, but now Neco ahead by 5 Tetrises, 193 to 78k. Both players fairly close in ranking as well on the latest Premier poll, which is, of course, for July 2025. Iball jumped up 5 places to currently rank in 6th place. Neco is 8th. Was 5th in June. Of course, that Iball ranking owing to his fantastic run at CCWC. Tetris for Neco. The Premier poll, by the way, is a monthly ranking that multiple pollsters from the community, whether it's top players or sort of quote-unquote the press, aka yeah, top players, streamers, all that sort of stuff, event hosts, they all come together and rank the best players. It's often quite funny seeing the discussions that happen after these, but it's also cool. But alternatively, there is also the ELO rankings as a statistical way to rank the players, and in that, Iball is currently rank number 10 with a 2202 ELO. Neco is rank 13 with a 2140. There's only 24 players at the moment with a rank with an ELO above 2,000. 320 for Iball, 389 for Neco. Iball recovering very well from those rough opening 20-25 lines. Also recovered that Tetris rate up to above 50%. But it is Neco who still holds the cards here, ahead by 3 Tetrises. Nice Aki bar there, now setting up for the Tetris. Not going for the Chorion adjustment there. Instead, just stacking up standard, and we'll get a Tetris out of that anyway. And another Tetris there for Neco. Sometimes players will just decide not to go for adjustments because they see a different way, or maybe that adjustment... You don't always have to take the adjustment. Like, for all we know, because of, butterfly effect and any of that, maybe taking the Chorion would have sent Neco into a spiral that would have caused an immediate top-out. You never know. Player's about to hit level 19 transition. Column 9 Tetris for Iball. And Iball going into level 19 here, 466, which will be about 150k back off of what Neco got, 130k, excuse me, 597 going into level 19 here. So now let's see if either of these players may potentially try and pull away here. Tetris for Neco. Yeah, exactly, Ava. Like, given the rest of the board, it's not always wise just to go for adjustments just to get one. You just have to think about the state of the board. Neco with a misdrop of an L piece there. Didn't get it all the way over to the left-hand side, so we'll have to do a bit of work here, which could very well allow Iball a route back into this game. Is 120k down, but Iball also running into a little bit of board difficulty here. It is definitely survivable, but it means that Iball can't score a Tetris either, as Neco is getting to the tail end of this dig. Just needs one more line to clear. Iball gets the Tetris, but hangs a Z piece. Yeah, Tristop's adjustment guide is a pretty invaluable resource for any player, really, who wants to sort of learn about adjustments. Because, of course, there is the document that lists all the adjustments and how to do them, but it's also good to get some guidance from one of the best at it. Double flip there of that bar for Iball. Not able to get the Tetris out of it. That will hurt efficiency a little bit. 604 for Iball, 760 for Neco, level 24. We're about halfway through the 19 speeds. Tetris for Iball. Neco with a little bit of a spire forming in the center right of this board. Both players having a difficult level 19 stretch so far, but Iball has at least seen the other side of it for now, has a Tetris, and Neco isn't going to be Tetris ready here for a little while, so Iball taking this opportunity and now really starting to rack in those points. Iball 740, Neco 786. Iball Tetris ready again. Takes a couple of burns here, but I think an over or a misshift there of that S piece. So Iball now having to dig as Neco gets clean. One person exits to dig, another enters it. 777 Iball, 827 for Neco, another Tetris for Neco. Neco right now just working on undoing all of Iball's hard work to get that lead back down, putting it right back up to 105,000 points. Iball with it all to do here, and not a lot of time to get this dug out. 5 lines before 29. Trying to bring this board down as low as possible to make completing the dig on 29 a little bit easier. 806 transition here for Iball. Neco on 966. Skims with the J piece and a T piece and a Tetris for Neco. Max out. A04. Iball managing to get out. Great dig there and great perseverance. Not giving up, but Neco is in a bit of trouble. Gets that bar over for a Tetris, but board is pretty compromised, and Neco cannot get that bar over. Tops out at A94, so Iball and another chase down target is going to be A95. 4.5 Tetrises to get. I'll read chat in a second here. 9:31 now. Iball has time. 160k away. A95 again is the target. Iball's already gotten one chase down. And a computer going to sleep. This time the computer's still going. And Iball's still going here. 9:52. J dependency filled in there for Iball. Oh no, the computer looks like it's gone off. Can Iball get it before it happens? Bar is... Where is the bar? Where's the bar for Iball? Bar doesn't come in time! And topping out at 9:62. So Neco surviving that chase down this time. Taking game number 2. GG's. 3. Let's get underway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Those random cuts. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I worded that wrong. I meant like sort of actually do them rather than stack for them. Just like, or just sort of have, when the opportunity arises, I don't necessarily take them nearly as much as I should, especially even when it would actually benefit me to do so. That's what I mean. I just worded it incorrectly. $117 here for Neco, 98k for Iball. Both players so far taking one game each. It is a best of 5. First to 3 will win. $204 for Iball, $205 for Neco. Both players with clean stacks. Neco with a small spire of S pieces. Iball getting a Tetris. Neco also getting a Tetris. $301 for Iball, $327 now for Neco. Both players Nice T-tuck there for Iball. But both players continuing to just slam down more Tetrises. It's a very close game here. 372 to 354 now, and it's less than a Tetris to the point where the lead is going back and forth with every Tetris that the players get. Dirty column 3 Tetris there for Neco. And Tetris as well for Iball. What's up, Danny? Yeah, Tetris. Neco last season ranked 3rd place when it came to FMS, fair median score, at a fair median score of 1.339 million. And at the 4th highest win percentage of over 62%. This information coming courtesy of the recent public CTL match statistics that our stats team worked on tirelessly. Thank you so much to everyone in the stats team who worked on that. What's up, Kingsman? Vits there for Neco. Tetris for Iball. Tetris for Neco. You're a week past your bedtime. Oh, that can't be good. What's Kiwi gonna think about that now? 564 for Neco, 580 for Iball. It's still very close. Anyone's match here. Anyone's game. He doesn't care about you unless you have food in hand. That's fair enough. Well, it's not fair enough, but you get what I mean. Iball with a 631 gets another Tetris to go to 656 and another Tetris. Taking advantage of those 2 long bars coming down in quick succession. Level 21 now. Iball 708. Neco 693. Neco now with a bit of a dirty board, but does have the well back open. Neco fighting to keep the well open. Now needs some good pieces. Keeping the well open there again with those quick burns. Takes a triple. Still waiting on a long bar. Bit of a drought forming here for Neco. Covers the well again. Has a Phantom J piece in the middle of that stack. And not able to use any of the bars there for Tetrises, but finally gets that chasm open, gets a J piece in there. 802 for Iball, 725 for Neco. Level 24 now for both players. Tetris Neco. Adam, don't take it personally, but a fellow Frenchman will be playing on CTM soon. I'm going to absolutely take that personally, Maisie. How dare you? How dare you not be the only Frenchman in Tetris history? I'm pretty heartbroken by that information. A 937 for Iball, 859 for Neco. Yeah, thank you, Kennard. Max out for Iball, A07. Yeah, exactly. The only type of Tetris anything that you can consume is me. Precisely. A15 for Iball, 972 for Neco. Both players now on level 28. 29 will be arriving shortly. Simul Tetris for both players. And Neco going into 29. A44. Iball can get 2 more Tetrises here. There's one. And a B22 here for Iball, still holding the lead despite being 7 lines back. Which means Neco's going to have to work a little bit overtime here, but doing exactly that, gets another bar over, gets a Tetris for Neco. Iball waiting for a bar to respond back with. Bar comes a little bit too late, takes the triple instead though. Iball getting the left side back open. Neco with another Tetris going up to C19, taking the lead. But less than a Tetris separating the players right now. Double flip of that long bar, but actually kind of might work out here for Neco. Still clean, only needed 2 burns to get that well back open, have a fully clean board. Iball needing something to the right-hand side, gets an S over there. Neco is Tetris ready, but having to cover the well briefly here. Could use an L piece to the left, gets a long bar, that works. C39 Neco, C11 for Iball, both boards climbing. Iball takes a double. There is an emergency to try to get that board down desperately. Iball doesn't get that T piece all the way over and is going to top out at C15, but Neco doing enough with C50 to take game number 3. We are now at match points. It's 2-1 in favor of Neco. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, who doesn't like free money? And there we go. We already have someone redeeming that code. Now we're down to 21. Thank you, Danny, for the 25-cent contribution. Much appreciated. Brings our prize pool up to $107.25. Again, we do look every season to pay out the top 4 in the Division 1 playoffs. That includes our grand champion and runner-up, as well as paying out at least $25 to first place in Div 1A and 1B. We got another code contribution in here. Kanar, thank you so much. Now only 20 of them left. Get them while you still can. Iball 116, Neco 97. Neco in a bit of a tricky dig situation here, but should be able to get out of it. It's just going to last a while, which could allow Iball to build out a strong lead early on. You never want to be starting a game behind by a lot, because then you're just playing catch-up for the rest of it. And that's universal across all levels, even with these 2 players being good enough to get to 29 and score in 29 and beyond. Iball on 208, Neco 129. So Neco hasn't fallen too far behind, but some awkward pieces there, extending that dig just a little bit longer, but Neco will get the Tetris. And another Tetris there for Neco. Skim and a triple there for Iball. Neco with a bit of a low left-hand side, now a bar dependency, but does get the long bar to fill it in. Dylan in the chat saying, let's go Iball. The Iball fan club in full swing today. What's up, Knight? Saying good morning. Good morning, Knight. Bit of a... doesn't really make sense, but there we go. 382 for Iball, 321 for Neco. It's a shame we don't have some sort of like text-to-speech kind of thing where we can actually hear the chat saying go Iball or go Neco or go whoever. Ooh, Iball not getting that tuck he wanted with the square piece. Just has sort of a cave system going on there in row 5 to 8. Looking like he's making a nice house. You got the doorway there, you got a couple windows. Pretty big roof though, I will say. But Iball trying to bring the house down. Doing some renovations. Turning it into a bungalow. Nice burning here. And we'll get the well back open. The house is gone. And Iball's moved to Tetris City. Gets the Tetris. 470 for Iball. 467 for Neco. We're pretty much neck and neck here. Identical line counts, near identical scores, and identical Tetris rates as well. It can't get any close. Well, it can get closer than this with a few burns or so, but it is incredibly tight between these two players and kind of has been the theme of a lot of these games so far between these two players. It's been pretty close. Level 19 transition, 541 here for Iball, 560 for Neco. You need a house/living commentary to continue. So we need more house metaphors in Tetris. Gotcha. Whenever they work, we will do that. Looks like Iball's... Okay, capture froze for a sec, but it's back now. We're fine. 603 Iball, 615 for Neco. Tetris again for Neco, now on level 21. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes the capture will freeze, whether it's because of the internet or whatever. It's the limitations that we have of having a completely online event. Sometimes players' internet might run into some issues, but usually they'll resolve themselves fairly quickly. We got a good system we have going here. Neco with a bit of a high right side here, but keeping that well open. Tetris there for Neco, 710. Tetris for Iball, 731. Just more metaphors, alright. Gotcha. So the house might have gone down, but now both players are just constructing a picture here, a picture that might see them take this game, but only one can. It's like a race. There's sort of a architecture contract or something. They want to be the ones that build that big skyscraper in Tetris City with their name on it. You enjoying this content, guys? You enjoying all these metaphors? 860 for Iball, 897 for Neco, Tetris for Iball, Tetris for Neco. Nice adjustments there for Neco. And another Tetris here for Neco. Metaphorically speaking, you love it. Thank you, Sentient Longbar. Nice Aki bar there for Neco. Now on level 27. This is a level notorious for some players. Pretty much any player who plays on console really knows the trouble with this level, especially on some captures, some TVs, some consoles. Just don't like this level in terms of the colors of it. It is a pretty dark one. Tetris for Neco. Both players now maxing out. A44 to A74. And now both players trying to rush this project to completion. They're in crunch time when it comes to their construction, and now they have to build something that's going to get them the game win. Lead is switching back and forth between the two players. Iball with a center well Tetris there. Very nicely done. Neco. Keeping low. Now has that well back over to the right-hand side. Skims with the JP. Skims with an L and gets it Tetris. Iball with a double. Tetris for Iball. B78 to B49. Less than a Tetris separating the lead. Continues to go back and forth between the two players here. Tetris for Neco, Tetris for Iball. C21 to C32, just 10K separating them. Tetris Iball. Neco gonna take the triple there. Will be slowed down a little bit. Iball, though, not slowing down, not relenting, getting another Tetris here. Neco still working on the board. Now could, oh, misses the C flip there. Maybe he was trying to set up too high. Or 2 rows high, rather. Iball now on D48, Neco C57. Neco now setting up for a dirty in column 3, or row 3, gets the Tetris. Setting up again in column 9, another Tetris here for Neco. Neco not giving up that easy. Now into level 35. E12 here for Iball, D65 for Neco. Iball with a couple misdrops here, didn't get that T-piece where he wanted it. Gets the bar over for a triple, skims with the T-piece. Neco also in a bit of board difficulty. Iball tops out at E26, so Neco's target is E27. Now is 7K away. Can Neco get this over the line? Yes, he will! With an E29, Neco is gonna take game number 4 and the set 3-1. Great chase down and great perseverance there from Neco. So will be the Neco Tower. That's what the building will be called. The big house. That's what we'll have it as. GG's to Neco. Great final game. Makes it all the way to 39 too, to boot. GG's both players, both doing very, very well. But yes, of course, your winner for our first match of the evening will be the player from Russia. It is Neco. GG's to Iball, though. Great effort, too. I'll quickly get this match reported. We'll show off what that means for the overall table.
Invest ready from Tetris time, so we can get started with the first game of this set. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And we are off with some Division 1 gameplay. Sodium and Tetris time. Two very strong players in their own rights. Being ranked 20th and 16th respectively, Sodium and Tetris time, in the most recent Premier poll. Tetris for Tetris time. Currently 3 Tetris perfect, taking an early Tetris lead over Sodium. Sodium getting up pretty high, against the bar, gets the Tetris. Able to throw those pieces all the way over to that left-hand side, pile them up, wait for the pieces to build up that left, or that right. Knocking down the Tetrises. Adjust that S for the incoming bar and is able to resolve that with only 3 burns. Nicely done there for Sodium, as Tetris time is in a situation of its own. It's going to just take a few more than 3 burns to resolve, I think. Or, yeah, you're going to have to throw that bar over to the right-hand side. And you'll just have to skim this down bit by bit. Oh, that's a very nice L. We'll open up the right-hand side, get him Tetris ready and clean, but with a bar dependency. Pi, yeah, going to have to block it off soon after. Bars do not come in time. Oh, and Tetris time with some nasty hangs of that S. is going to have to try and get as many skims as he can because he needs to get something over to that right-hand side. Gets the bar over. Now he's going to be in a big dig up high here. Another high right-hand side. He's got to get pieces over. And not getting any pieces he can really throw over. A J will take a double, but that J doesn't burn anything, and I don't think he can get anything over. And Tetris time is going to be done at 114,000 points. Counter down for game number 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, these two players had a very close set just a month ago over in CTM. Tetris time ending up taking that 3-2. Now, but that wasn't the first time they've played. They ended up playing twice in Tetris friendlies over 5 years ago. Both of those were sweeps for Sodium. Those are the only matches they've actually played, so this is only their second ever ranked match. Tetris for Sodium, Tetris for Tetris time. Tetris for Tetris time. Where's the head-to-head database? It's part of the match database now. They added that onto the match database. Not too long ago. I'm not sure exactly when, but I just know that when I came back to restreaming after taking a break, it was there now. And I think that's a cool thing to have, because I was planning to make that myself, because I planned to make a master thing to pop up like players' PBs and everything all in one place. Ooh, Tetris time up high again. Blocked off the right-hand side, and now the left-hand side too, with a 3 wide on the left is filling it in, taking skims. But Tetris time has just been ruthlessly efficient, only taking 3 burns through the first 39 lines. But Tetris time gets the Tetris. Bringing this down. Ricky Bot betting everything he has on Sodium. Sodium now also a little high, but much more manageable. Some flat burns does make another hole in the board. Nice T-tuck. That's going to open that bar dependency, get the bar right on time, clean it up. Tetris up to 242. 226 for Tetris time, so Sodium with just under a Tetris lead. I don't think it's crazy, like, speaking of the head-to-head, how little a lot of the top players end up playing, apart from like the tippy top players, how uncommonly top players end up playing each other. Like you see, these are both ranked very similarly on the Premier Poll, 16th versus 20th, but they've only ever played each other once. I think that's one of the good parts about CTL is you do get a lot of these players who are a bit closer ranked playing against each other. Currently, Sodium 321 has some holes at the bottom, looking for a bar to take a triple so he can be playing row 3. Is this an Arcadian advert? I would never say yes that it is. I'll leave it at that. I can't really be advertising for a tournament that's currently in hiatus. Tetris time still trying to bring this board down. $265 for Tetris time, $381 for Sodium. Sodium has opened up a 5 Tetris lead as Tetris time has been struggling to pass the 100 line mark. So Tetris Time has got some work to do, perhaps on these 19 speeds. Tetris Time briefly blocks the well, but unclocks it, gets the bar, gets the Tetris. 337 and a skimming of Tetris there for Tetris Time. Sodium so far with a 3-1 win over Cole and a decider loss to Neco. There were two very strong players. Tetris Time with a 2-3 loss to Cole. So, almost, and a sweep from Iball, who's the current leader of the division. But Tetris Time is into 19. Was up a bit high, getting a triple, opens to the right hand side, gets the bar, gets the Tetris up to 420. Sodium going to be going in, also pretty high with some mess. Now, oh, very nice skims there from Sodium. Will open up the hole, fill it in, get the bar, get the Tetris to 549. Another Tetris for Sodium. Both players into level 20 now. Sodium has 7 lines in hand, is ahead by 125k. So this 4.5 Tetris lead is more like a 6 Tetris pace lead. Nice dirty Tetris there for Tetris Time. But he's got a lot of work to do, and he's not currently clean.